really mixed messages and contradictory statements from the White House chief of staff compared to the doctors. The president is broadcasting yet another thing on Twitter, and it's even members of the president's own senior team aren't quite sure how he's doing. And that underlines the real issue here is that not only do they not know, but the American public doesn't know, but the world at large doesn't know. And this is certainly a national security crisis. This is not just a matter of one man's health. He's the president of the United States, and certainly friend and foe alike. Global capitals are watching what happens in Washington with interest right now, wondering how President Trump is doing. He's been given a list of medications that are pretty significant, including a steroid that is only used for severe COVID cases and those that also require oxygen. We know the president has had his oxygen level drop twice, as doctors say. But there's a lot we don't know, and it will certainly raise questions if the president were to leave today, just 3 or so days after arriving at the hospital.
So it's been a very interesting journey. I learned a lot about COVID.
And this disease hits people in many different ways, certainly. But many who have COVID, who defeat it, who don't die from it, but say that the side effects linger for quite some time. And we will have to see how that impacts this president, particularly since we are just a month from the election. And certainly, polls suggest he is losing pretty significantly in national polling, closer in the battlegrounds. But he's running out of time. And I think that's part of why he's pushing to leave the hospital. He could try to, one would think, get back on the campaign trail. Now, when that can happen, who knows? I mean, it's supposed to be, one would think it'd be 2 weeks or so. In the interim, Vice President Pence is trying to pick up the slack, which raises its own question. The Vice President has his debate with Joe Biden's running mate, Senator Kamala Harris, on Wednesday night. And then he's immediately going to head out on a campaign trail, heading out to, I believe, Arizona, Indiana, and Florida later this week. And there are some who wonder about the wisdom of that. The Trump campaign has defended it, saying, look, the campaign is still going on. Vice President needs to be out there, just like Biden and Harris are. But others suggest, well, but he's also beyond just a candidate. He's the vice president. And if both the president and the vice president had coronavirus, that's a constitutional crisis like one we have not faced.